This is the full moon tarot reading for December 13th through the 14th, 2016. And I did another video about the constellation Orion itself and why I associate it with Goddess Hecate. So I recommend that you watch that first before this and really get an insight of why I associate that. The least of which is because she told me to. But I'm just going to be doing the reading itself in this and not really explain in detail. Okay, so first of all, I'll show you all the astrology as always. The moon is right basically in the head area of the constellation Orion, literally. So let me try to zoom in for y'all more. Okay. I mean, technically, if you look at the lines of demarcation, it's in Taurus. But energetically, it's in Orion, okay? And what's funny is, if you watch the dark moon video, on the dark moon, we had the moon was over here in Ophiuchus with Saturn and with the sun. Now the sun is even more aligned with Saturn. But anyway, energetically, and see, like, this is the Milky Way. If you want to follow that line. And then, boom. Orion is on the opposite side, okay? The exact opposite of Ophiuchus. So, very interesting. If you had watched my dark moon video, it's very interesting, the Hecatean symbolism with all this. But let's get on with the actual divination reading forecast part of this. The constellation Orion is Goddess Hecate, okay? Holding her torch and a crescent moon or a serpent. Alright? It's not actually the giant Orion, that's just the Greek mythology superimposed on this ancient constellation, okay? But in reality, it has older meanings, alright? And the Orion Nebula is like the womb of Goddess Hecate. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Alright, a nebula is where stars are born from. So it's the womb of Goddess Hecate. It's there in between her legs. Okay, y'all? So anyway, the full moon in this constellation is the culmination of the dark moon reading that I just did on the dark moon past on November 29th, okay? So go watch that reading. It was talking about a rebirth of energy in all areas and aspects of our life. A rebirth of the goddess Hecate at large. And this full moon is the culmination of that. So it's it's a sprouting of that seed that was planted, okay, on the dark moon. So we're going to be seeing results, the initial results, the initial growth and progress in all aspects and areas of our life that we saw rebirth in on the dark moon. We can now look forward to seeing progress and growth in those areas, all right? Energetically, this is the first step of Hecate reclaiming her power in the physical realm, okay? So be prepared for this full moon to be very, very high energy, okay? That's really all I can say on that. So now we will proceed with the tarot cards. Okay, y'all. Now I align myself with the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Hecate. Please communicate the truth to me through these cards so that I may be guided for the highest good of all. Thank you and smoothly. Please give us your divine guidance for this full moon on December 13th through the 14th, 2016. Tell us what energies are around and available to us so that we may use them for our highest good, greatest success and joy. Thank you and so to be. Okay, guys. Okay. So, first of all, we have the Magician card. And this is an amazing card. The Magician is about claiming a personal power. It's called the Juggler in this deck. And that's actually a good way to view it, because a juggler is someone who can manipulate several things at once, alright? The Magician is the energy that represents us this full moon, and it's telling us to basically use our power, use our intellect and mental power, use our intelligence, use our magical and spiritual abilities to manipulate things to go the way that we want, okay? This card's talking about using all resources available to you to make things go your way. Using your willpower to make things go your way. Taking action to make things go your way. In every way that you can do something for your own cause, do it. Physical actions, spiritual and magical things, calling in friends for help, okay? Whatever it is, whatever it takes. There is things available to you to be used as tools in a process to fulfilling your desires, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why we're here. In case anyone was feeling guilty about that. Okay. I'm feeling like this, I'm actually feeling, this is coming into me right now, that this full moon will be the rebirth of personal power for a lot of people. your witchy nature, okay? Your empowerment. In the card in the present position, we have the Two of Cups. So this is talking about a loving union coming in. This is in the atmosphere. So this may be with the goddess Hecate. This may be with your spirits and deities. This could be with your own soul's energy and power. This could be a loving relationship with another person. This card does not always mean romance. It can mean family, friends, where there's true love there, emotional exchange that is equal, loyalty, companionship. But it could also mean romance and marriage, okay? This is the energy around us on this full moon that we can reach out and grasp and use. The crossing card. Y'all know I love this card. I always say it. It is fucking cute. With this little baby. And the Aurora Borealis, okay? But, it always distracts me because how cute it is, okay? But energetically, the Eight of Coins as the crossing card, I feel like there might be an energy or a tendency to be lazy on this full moon and not do some work that needs to be done. Don't let that stop you. Alright? You are a magician. You are magical. You have magical power and ability. And when it comes to these types of events like the full moon and the dark moons, that really, and the Sabbats, you really need to do magic on those days, alright? Because that energy, whether you're using it or not consciously, it's there. On the full moons, on the dark moons, on the Sabbats. I mean, it's there all the time. But those are really the tides of power. And if you're not consciously using it on purpose, you're going to end up manifesting things that you're not, that whatever the fuck you're focusing on during that time. And so you really need to use your power, okay? And you need to use it constructively and in a planned and controlled way, all right? So don't let laziness or anything like that block you. And make sure that you pay attention to details of what you're manifesting as well, okay? The next card is the Sun. And this is just what is called the card beneath us. It's like a foundation card. It's giving you a little bit of advice and guidance. The Sun card is talking about shining love and warmth on everyone. Supporting all efforts to grow within yourself, within others. Really being fatherly or motherly. Embodying that energy. Both for yourself and for the people around you, okay? Because that is really what brings you the most benefit in your life, okay? So that's important on this full moon. In the past position is the King of Cups. So there was a emotional upheaval that has taken place prior to this full moon. And depending on how you handled it, things are either going to go good or not. If you were empathic, and if you're watching this before the full moon, then just be aware that if there is an emotional upheaval that's taking place in relationships, if you are empathic and you are considerate and you deal with your emotions in such a way that you're still able to be helpful to others, you will see good and positive results from that. Don't let your emotions get the best of you, okay? That's the warning that's coming up with this card. And if you allow your emotions to be experienced, be expressed but you still keep your logic and control, and peaceableness, if that's a word. If you stay peaceable, that's really what you want to do, because you're going to see the best results from that, okay? The full moons are high tides of emotional energy. So use that constructively. Don't let that become a negative thing that is expressed. You know, focus on meditation, focus on ritual, focus on manifesting. Use all that energy with what you... Use all that energy to manifest what you want, okay? Which brings me to the next card. The Ace of Coins is the card of manifesting abundance, manifesting wealth, manifesting health, new job opportunities, new finances coming in, material wealth, whether that comes in as finances or just abundance of, you know, hearth and home, okay? All of that is a form of wealth. Spiritual knowledge is wealth, okay? Emotional fulfillment, happiness, and joy is wealth. Peace is wealth, okay? These energies are available to us. We just have to seek for them in the right way, okay? We can't be our own worst enemy here. We have to work with the energies. We have to set ourselves up to receive what it is that we want. In the future position is the Ace of Wands. And so this is about a burst of energy coming in your social life, in projects, artistic pursuits, in career, and skills. I love this card's depiction on this, in this deck. It's beautiful. And this is talking about basically a major burst of energy coming in, creative energy that will come in if we do the advice of these cards, okay? And that's really going to be the way forward. So use it. In your persona position, which is once again giving a little bit of advice, it's the Empress card, and it's talking about, once again with this card, using that artistic energy, using the creativity that's available to you right now, using being nurturing, as we have with the Sun card. Nurture your own creativity. Nurture your own efforts to grow. Nurture the creativity of other people and their efforts to grow. Be very nurturing on this full moon. Be compassionate. Okay, seek for artistic expression. Seek for the expression of love and compassion. Alright? There's a healing taking place on this full moon. And I feel like it's a healing of how you approach things. I feel like you've been dealing with so much darkness from the past that it has blocked you from being true to yourself. Okay? Maybe you've had to put up so much walls and barriers that you have not been able to just be yourself, okay? Be who you want to be and how you want to be when you are at peace, okay? So I feel like this reading is talking about establishing peace again, and how that helps you to shift from being in a reactive state of mind to just being, okay? This card is talking about how other people perceive you. And it's the 5 of Coins. So, I mean, this is like a state of surrender pretty much. Okay, y'all, I had to let the video cut off at the 20-minute time limit on this recording device, and then start a new video. But so this is an energy of pretty much of surrender. It's like giving up on a certain way of being. This isn't necessarily a bad card, because you could be giving up on a negative mindset. You could be giving up on a negative approach. You could be giving up on a approach of conflict to a situation. And now you're like, okay, how can I approach this? How can I approach this situation differently? Because what I'm doing is not working. All right, it's not working for me. So, you know, this is also a card of negative thinking, negative thought patterns of poverty, thought patterns of lack, thought patterns of no love. Like you don't receive love in your relationships, or you're not in relationships where you get love. Just negative thinking in general, okay? And you really need to break those bad habits of thinking that way. I know that this year has been crazy for a lot of people. It has been very negative for a lot of people. But once again, that energy has put us in a reactive state. Okay, when you are being reactive, you're not in control. You're reacting to other people, to situations, and that has control over you. When you are at peace, you're able to act from just your own will, your own goals, your aspirations, your inspirations, okay? So this full moon is looking like it's really going to be healing in that area. The next card that we have is Justice. And so this is the hopes and fears. This is the goals card. And the Justice card is about balance. It's about bringing a balance between the masculine and feminine, the receptive and projective, the submissive and dominant, reaction and action, okay? There needs to be a balancing taking place. So this reading is about healing, all right? That's the main message coming through here. The final card that we have is the 8 of Wands. And so this is about communications, messages of love and appreciation. Communications of love and appreciation. Compassion. You know, this time of year, December, is really, there's a lot going on, because you have a lot of family drama surfacing, but you also have an opportunity for a lot of peace to be made and a lot of compassion to be shown. All right? It's what you make of it. If you're in a reactive state, you know, someone else is controlling how this plays out in your life, whoever that is for you, or whatever that is that's going on, whatever situation. But if you're in a state of peace, you're going to be the one that's really holding the reins and controlling how things go. You can't control other people absolutely all the time in all ways, but how you approach things does have an influence on them. All right? So overall, with this entire spread, I'm getting that there's a major healing going on here, and it's within you. It's within you, okay? You've been dealing with so much that it's really broken down your will. It's really lowered your vibration to where your will has been in a state of resistance, conflict, and war. Okay? But you can bring that energy back up by healing from within, by attaining peace within yourself. Okay? Like what they say, forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you, so that you can let go of it and have peace again within yourself, okay? And when you do that, you heal. You are healed. And that does have an effect on the people around you. They're always going to decide how they act, okay? But you are also the one deciding how you act and how you are. So if you can get yourself, use this full moon to meditate, to do ritual, to manifest a state of peace within yourself, a state of balance, a state of harmony, a state of well-being mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And if you do that, and then from that place, from that grounded, centered place, then you begin to act towards your goals, in your relationships, shining love and warmth on all, regardless. Because I know how it is. Sometimes we want to be very selective of who we give love to and who, you know what I mean. So, if you put, sorry that I hit this. If you put the positive energy into things, which was really coming up in this card, this card, the very first card, the second card, okay? And don't be lazy. Don't resist it, alright? You know that you can create positive change in these negative relationships. I feel like there's a lot of negative relationships going on here. And it was probably caused because of a lot of stress and negative situations that caused you and other people to, you know, develop tension between y'all. And it became a negative thing, a negative relationship. So, you know how powerful you are. I mean, you are the magician, okay? You know you're magical. You know that you have this power. It's time to use it again. Regardless, don't be your own worst enemy. That is what this crossing card is representing, okay? Don't be your own worst enemy. You know that you can cause change in accordance with your will. You know that you can. Whether that's through your actions, through rituals, whatever it is. Don't be lazy, okay? I feel like this might just be taking physical actions from you. Not just rituals, not just spells and stuff like that. You need to actually take physical action. Start off with these meditations. Start off with this shift of energy and healing within yourself, okay? And then once that is established, then you can take positive actions to really heal the relationships in your life, and bring positive energy to that, because whatever you bring or put in to a relationship is what you get back, okay? That is really just how it works. And I mean, these two cards right here are really talking about don't be your own worst enemy with this, okay? So resolve whatever it is that you need to heal within yourself, whatever it is that you need to forgive or let go of within yourself. And once you do that, you will be more whole and more healed within yourself, and you'll be able to go forward in situations in your life, in relationships, in a much more positive and balanced and harmonious way, alright? So I hope this reading resonates with y'all. And I hope that you take the advice from these cards from my reading and really just use it. Apply it where it applies to your life. Remember that we are all souls here, experiencing the physical realm, experiencing the physical bodies, experiencing ego and the relationships between people and all of that, all that entails. Okay, the good and the bad. Remember that. Remember your center. Remember your soul. Remember that you are an immortal spiritual being and you're just temporarily here experiencing physical reality, okay? And remember that everyone else is also that, okay? And, you know, don't sweat the small stuff, alright? Life comes in cycles. Life is a wheel or a spiral. There's ups and downs constantly. No matter if you're a fucking saint or like the worst person, there is ups and downs in life, okay? There's nothing you can do to avoid it. So don't let those cycles determine, you know, who you are in your soul. You can always, you may not always be able to control the outer world. I mean, that you can to an extent through magic and stuff like that, but, and through prayer and things, but you can always control who you are, okay, during these things. That is the most important thing anyways. So remember that. Remember how strong you are. Remember that you are the magician. Remember that you are the witch. Remember that you are, you know, this divine soul embodied. And regardless of what's going on, you have a power to be a healer, to fix things. Okay? So, overall, this reading is really great. Let me see if anything else is coming through. You know, really express your love and appreciation for people at this time of year, okay? Not only on this full moon, but on at this time of year, okay? Really express that, really show that. You know, make peace offerings if there is some relationship that you're having, that there's been tension in. Don't let recent tension, you know, destroy your entire past relationship that you've been building up. You know, make a peace offering this time of year and see it in this full moon and see if that can help. And once again, don't let your own self block that by being like, I just don't want to, okay? Well, you really do want to, because that's going to be a part of your healing, and part of this abundance coming into you is about healing your relationships, okay? So really try that. So once again, just take what you will from this reading, apply it how you will, but this is the guidance that came through. So I hope that y'all use it. I hope that your full moon brings you a deep healing and empowerment and a return to your soul's gnosis, okay? And that you will then use that to really heal your life at large, in your relationships, your family, your close friends, all of that, okay? Your finances, your home life, all of it, your work, your career, all of it, okay? And I also hope that you will use this time to really reconnect with Goddess Hekate if you've been feeling that the effects of her descent. I really think that you should do, I'm talking to the Hecatian, which is here now. I really think that you should do rituals to reforge your bond with her, okay? And do like a dedication or something, a rededication to her or something like that, to really re-strengthen that bond. And that's for her and for you, okay? The divine is seeking expression through us constantly because we are a piece of it. So just remember that as well. It is a partnership on that level. So try to bring that back into balance too, okay? So before I go on rambling with this video, I'm going to go ahead and end it, but that's just the energy that I was getting with all of this, and I hope that it helps you. I hope that you have a great full moon. If you want a private reading with me, you can look in the description box for information on contacting me, and I will see y'all on the next videos. Hail to the witches, hail Hecate, and blessed be. I love you guys.